You're not gonna be like, oh my goodness, this is so difficult because I don't know if I got the right price. But if you already gone ahead, what's up YouTube, Biz Matthew here and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to make wholesaling easy. Now, before we go on, you all smash that like button. It really supports this channel. And then subscribe if you're not subscribed to this channel. And then once again, you all, I have a online course running a special promo code, $100 off the original price. If you're looking for a place where you have all the videos A to Z how to wholesale real estate, check out my website. When you guys are ready for that next step in having me as your mentor, you can apply also on the website. So link down below. Now, actually you all, this video is actually coming in response to my last video on different things I wish I knew before starting wholesaling real estate. And I just talked about the common misconceptions and the theories behind wholesaling. Just broke down 9 different points on what I wish I knew before. And so I'm kind of thinking of making this a series and just going over each of those points individually and making practical ways that we can solve those misconceptions in our wholesale real estate business. In the first point, I talked about how wholesaling is extremely difficult. It's not as easy as you think, you know? When you hear these people online saying you can get a deal in 30 days and 2 weeks and different things like that. And I know you all really resonated with that point because we probably all experienced that as beginners. But okay, Matthew, what can we do about that? And then today's video, we're going to talk about what are ways that we can make wholesaling easy or just make it more realistic for us and our business. And so in today's video, I'm just going to talk about 5 different bullet points that we can make wholesaling easy. And so the first bullet point actually comes from one of the top comments from that last video. Mr. Alvarez says that, I'll be honest, it's really not hard at all, but the word hard, difficult could be different for everyone. To me, it's all about consistency. Yo, my man Alvarez really hit it on the ball with that one, consistency. So that's the first thing we're going to talk about. How to make wholesaling easy is just being persistent and being consistent in your wholesaling business, with marketing, with following up with people and different things like that. And so to share my experience, when I first started this business, I was not consistent. I didn't understand how much I had to do a little bit every single day in this business in order to bring me closer to my first deal. I may spend 1 week going hard and then like 2 weeks later, I will slack off and not do anything. Or another thing, I would try this marketing technique and then another marketing technique and just not stay consistent with one marketing technique. With you all, how do you stay consistent in your real estate business, in your wholesale real estate business? Comment down below and let me know what are ways that you can make it more consistent. For example, let's say you have a list of 1,000 people you have to call and you know you don't like cold calling, you know you don't want to spend 3 hours on the phone a day. Just break that off in chunks. If you can just call 10 people for a day, start with that and just be consistent with that. So say, I'm never going to go below 10 people for the next 5 days. Every single week, I will call at least 10 people. And after a week, you're already done 50 people out of that list of 1,000 people. And so just stay consistent. That's one way to make wholesaling more easy. The next thing I want to talk about is just setting realistic expectations in your wholesaling real estate business. I think when we hear people online, we just have this joy, we have these ideals that we're just gonna go out there and get a deal, when in reality, it takes time to actually get a wholesale deal for most people in this business. Yes, there are people that can close a deal in 30 days or less, but I think setting realistic expectations just puts our mindset in a way where we think, okay, well, this failed. I understand my timeline on getting a deal and I understand that this is just part of the business. It's not hard. If it's not difficult, I'm not gonna get frustrated if a cash buyer says my price is too high, because I understand that I'm learning and I have a couple of months to get my first deal. So instead of, I guess, setting a time frame of getting your first deal in 30 days, why not make it 3 months? That's more realistic. And then if you fall after a month, it won't hurt as much, right? So that's one way to make wholesaling more easy, because you just got to set realistic goals in your business. The next point I want to talk about, the third point in how to make wholesaling easy, is just kind of reflecting on what I talked about in the first point, sticking to one marketing technique. Now you all, for me, I started with like SMS, texting. I did some RVMs, ringless voicemails. And then after a while, I knew that, my mind was here, my money was there, my money was over here, and I just didn't give 100% my all to one marketing technique. So I just went all the way back to basics and did direct mail, which is costly and expensive, but I was like, I'm dedicated to do this. And so that's why I decided to just do direct mail. And I was mailing for like 5-6 weeks until I got a deal under contract and closed that deal a month later. And so you all stick to one marketing technique. I don't care what it is, all right, you all. It can be texting, it can be SMS, it can be door knocking, it can be working with realtors and with on-market properties. Just try to stick to one. Give it enough time where you can see if it works in your market, and then you can move on. But don't try to do multiple marketing techniques, especially as a beginner. Try to stick to one. And if it doesn't work after a while, after you tested it, it's been tried and true, then you can move on. All right, you all? Fourth way I would say to make wholesaling easy is just to network with other wholesalers, other investors around your area, and really know your cash buyers. So it's really network, all right? With other wholesalers, you all message them on Facebook Marketplace or Facebook groups and just ask them, hey, I got this lead. I'm just going to give it to you. You show me what you're going to do with it. I think this is a deal. You can keep all the proceeds. I just want to learn this business. All right. And that makes it so much more easier when you can do that to someone else. Another way is just connecting with your cash buyers and knowing exactly what they want in a property, right? So when you come across a property, you're not going to be like, oh my goodness, this is so difficult because I don't know if I got the right price. But if you already gone ahead and talked to your cash buyers on what they buy for in a certain area, you're more, I guess, calm and collective when you go to that seller's appointment, knowing what numbers you need to hit in order to sell it to your cash buyer. So it's really important to network with people. That makes the process so much more easier. And I wish I started JVing with people earlier, and that will be in another video, how we break that down and different things like that. All right, you all. So the next and final point I want to make about how to make wholesaling easier is just to have a motivated sellers list that a lot of wholesalers are not going after or just don't have the access to. And so obviously that makes the process easier because these people are less touched by other investors. So make sure you go down and you drill down to those niche lists, those probates, those tax delinquents, your driving for dollars lists and different things like that. I know for me, I wish I started that way much more earlier because I was just pulling lists from these websites that all the other wholesalers were using. If you're going to use these websites, just make sure you filter it down, get the most motivated list out of that. So for example, I'll just give you all a good motivated list. So on PropStream, they actually have an option where you can select bankruptcy. All right, you all. So bankruptcy is a list that a lot of people don't even think about targeting. These are people who are going through bankruptcy and probably need some cash to pay off some loans or to liquidate, and they can sell their house because of that. And so that's the selection that you can put on PropStream. Another thing is just like, let's say you're going over a general list, like vacant list that all the other wholesalers are going after. I would suggest really filtering down that list, make the equity like 70% or higher. Also, you can make sure, probably change the age of the homeowner. I know you can do that on ListSource. You can also just increase the amount of time they own that property for. And you understand what I mean? So you don't have to make it just a blanket vacant list. You can really filter it down so you can get just the select most motivated sellers from that list. Once again, you all know I talk about driving for dollars. Not everyone's going to have the same eye for distressed properties, and a lot of wholesalers, honestly, they're lazy and they're not driving for dollars, right? And I think more and more people are trying to, I guess, quote unquote, make wholesaling easy. And so the common things that people used to do, people are not doing because they're lazy. All right. And so like cold calling or direct mail and, these tried and true techniques, a lot of wholesalers are leaving these techniques. But to me, I think there's still an area to make money in those areas. Get the most unique list that you can. When you go to the courthouse for tax delinquents or probates, make sure you just keep on talking to people. Just get that list from them. Just keep on annoying them every single day so you can get that list from them. All right, you all. So those were the 5 main points that we talked about. So we talked about number 1, just staying consistent with your wholesale real estate business, just staying and sticking with it, staying consistent with your marketing techniques. And then we talked about how to network and JV with wholesalers, with cash buyers, knowing exactly what they want before going out and looking for properties. We talked about how to be realistic about your goals and your expectations so you won't feel so sad and depressed if after a month you don't have a deal. Then we talked about just how to find the most unique list, and I gave you all practical lists that you can pull right now in your county using websites like PropStream or ListSource. If you're interested in PropStream, link down below. At the end of the day, the way you make it easy is just by doing the work. All right, you all. For success, don't try to completely avoid hard work, and just know that the more barrier it is to entry, the higher the success. And so take on difficult stuff, and just, say, hey, this is difficult, but I know there's much reward in it. So value the hard and difficult things in life, and especially in your wholesaling business. All right, you all, I'll talk to you all later. Have a great day.